Hello, everybody, and first off, as it actually fell ironically, happy Valentine's Day. Also, Ash Wednesday. How ironic. 7 days ago, I posted a video basically telling you guys that I was going to do an AMA, an Ask Me Anything, Q&A, whatever. And I gave you guys a week, and now here we are a week later, and I'm going to answer the questions that you gave me, that you commented on that video. So I have them all listed right here, and I'm just going to go through them one at a time, say who they came from, read off the question, and then answer it at least, what I feel like answering to not make the video an hour long, because everyone knows I could talk for an hour. And in terms of the comments themselves, every single person that commented on that video and left questions or multiple questions are featured in this. There were not enough to where I had to go through and filter. Everyone who commented is in here. Okay. First set of questions from the first person, which would be YouTube user Sean A806. Number 1. What changed you from liking GM products to Ford products? Number 2. Have you had any issues so far with the Speed Queen TC series? Number 3. Have any plans for 2024? Number 4. Ever watch videos at 2 times speed? Number 5. Funniest comment you got on a video of yours or seen another video, funny as in something completely ridiculous or as in something hilarious. And finally, number 6. What is something that you don't like about living in the Midwest? So, awesome, Sean. You got some good questions there. I like multiple questions like that. So, I'll just go through and answer them one by one. So, in terms of GM to Ford, honestly, experience. I grew up not with my immediate family, my parents, but my extended family being very GM biased. I'm talking about probably more biased than any of y'all have seen in your life. I mean, my dad's parents are from Flint, Michigan, if that tells you anything. So around there, it's, you drive a Buick or you walk. That's pretty much how it is. And so every single car they owned has always been either Buick or GM. My other grandparents, they had a lot of European stuff because that's what my grandpa kind of worked on. But even when they didn't, it was always Suburbans, C1500s. Growing up, we had a Ford. We never had Chevys. My mom's had Toyotas for pretty much my whole life, aside from one Hyundai that she had when I was born. And my dad had a Ford Escape for a long time, as well as a Honda Civic, a BMW, and now the Volkswagen. So I really got more exposure as a kid to Fords even. I was never per se a GM guy. I think a lot of it came from my family influence. When it came time to buy my first car, talking to my grandma, oh, you got a Chevy, right? What kind of Chevy you getting? It was, something like that. So my first car, it was a Chevy. But honestly, after I got rid of that car, I never plan on owning another GM product again, and I still don't. I have 2 Fords now, and I love them. In my opinion, they're better built. They are, to a degree, easier to work on. They are much better quality control than General Motors. They look better, they ride better, they're more powerful. I mean, just my opinion, they're just better. So in terms of what actually changed me, being, identifying for myself, saying, I don't care that my family's all GM, I'm gonna go Ford, and I am now Team Ford. Proud Ford owners. So, yep. Question 1. Have you had any issues so far with the Speed Queen? Not to where it's needed not to where it's needed to be repaired. We've never had it repaired as it should be. It's only a year and 4 or 5 months old now. We have had a few issues with it, some minor stuff. I have a video, a short somewhere on this channel. Occasionally when it spins, it gets really, really loud and squeaky. That's one. We have had the drain overflow issue that a lot of people claim to have had. We've had it. And then the other one is more recent. I've used fabric softener with that machine since day one, and I think it's clogged something because the fabric softener dispenser doesn't dispense. It doesn't matter if you clean it out or do anything with it. It's just not dispensing, so I need to look into fixing that. But in terms of, repairs, no, nothing. It's been good. I love it. Do you have any plans for 2024? Well, considering 2024 is the year of me, Isaac 24, finishing school, maybe expanding my career position, maybe. I was gonna say not to buy another car in 2024, but I kind of broke that one already, even though it was January. I'd like to take at least another road trip. I think would be fun. I'd like to go back. I want to go back to Tennessee. I really do. I freaking loved it there. I wouldn't mind going back to Atlanta either. Somewhere warm. And then, shoot, I had one more. Also, tons of concerts. That's my other plans. I got tons of concerts booked. In fact, I got one coming up next month. So that one's going to be cool. I'm going to see John Mellencamp because he's coming to the frickin' Wharton Center in East Lansing. I'm frickin' can't tell you how excited I was for that. So yeah, lots of concerts, maybe a road trip, finishing school, and possible career expansions. Ever watch videos at 2 times speed? Yes, sometimes. Most of the time, I don't. I will admit, most of the time I watch videos either normal or, depending on if it's a video that I want to watch, but I don't necessarily want every single minute detail, I might watch it at like 1.5 speed. 2 is really only reserved for videos that like I really don't either want to watch or need to watch, but feel like I should for the hell of it to make sure I don't miss something. So, not often, but if there's a video I just really need to just basically say that I watched and not really care about, I'll do it at 2, but 90% of the time, no. I watch it regular. Funniest comment you got on a video of yours or seen in another video? Something ridiculous or hilarious? If you want to go ridiculous and hilarious, I have a video. It's one of my more popular videos, actually, of actually, it's a Roper washing machine. One of those stupid Whirlpool vertical modular washing machine pieces of junk. And I have a video of, it's from years ago, of me just messing around with it. And to this day, I get so many people on that video. I'm disliking it. You're stupid. You don't know how to use the machine. Learn how to use the machine. This person's a stupid idiot. Of course it didn't work. And every single time I get one, I just laugh. It is hilarious that that video is still getting traction. I wouldn't say that I've gotten anything like on other... I mean, I don't know what the funniest comment I've ever seen is. I've seen some like jokes and some funny stuff. Not really on my videos, but like in general, no, I don't know. That's probably it. That one's just pretty funny. I will say that I'm not going to really go into it, but there was a YouTube user who I used to communicate with outside of YouTube who, I'm not really going to go into it, but they very, very much became kind of obsessed with me to where I had to cut them off and block them, among other things, and they would comment on my video just towards the end, just stupid shit. Just real stupid, nonsense, negative bullshit. Nobody needs that. No, nobody wants that, and I certainly don't. If you're not going to post something positive, I'm going to delete your ass. That's just how it is. Unless it's like, unless you're criticizing, but even then, if you're just going to post negative shit, just get the fuck out. I'll delete your ass. So, yeah, not much for that one. And finally, what is one thing you don't like about living in the Midwest? That's a great question. I don't know if I have just one answer, but I can tell you specifically living in Michigan, the freaking road salt. It might be my least favorite thing about living in Michigan. The goddamn road salt. It destroys our freaking cars. I don't know why they can't use sand like in the UP, but down here in the Lower Peninsula, no. Just salt. Destroys the shit out of our cars. My van out there, actually, I didn't need to make a video about this, but it's so rusted through that I had to have it welded a few weeks after I bought it. Not really expensive, but part of the subframe just chewed right through, and that's 2004. It's not that old. I mean, it's 20, but... So, I would say probably that. Also, this is more of, again, a Michigan thing. I love the state of Michigan. I absolutely love it here. But in terms of, like... Well, I'm not even going to... No, that one doesn't count because that one's just kind of griping. But the salt and, yeah, I would say the salt is probably it, because I love living in the Midwest for the fact that it's nice and slow and boring here, and there's not a bunch of expensive, fancy shit and crap like California has or like Florida has, where it's just people everywhere and everything's fast and it's all crazy. Like, no, I couldn't do that. And we're kind of in the middle of everything. We're not too far from the East Coast, and we're not too terribly far from the West Coast. So, but yeah, in terms of not liking in the Midwest, I would have to say probably the salt. I don't love the snow, but I mean, that's par for the course, and it's not the worst. Yeah. I can think of a lot of good things, but not a ton of bad things. Okay, so those were Sean A806's questions. So, now moving on to YouTube user Half a Ski. 2 questions. Number 1, why did you start your YouTube channel with elevators at first? Why did you drift away from elevators? And number 2, this one may be pushing it. What do you do for work? The first one is actually a question I've gotten a lot. The reason that I did that is because this is not the first YouTube channel I've had. I'm not going to tell you how to find the other ones, and I'm not going to tell you the names of them. But elevators were something that I realized, I think I started this channel when I was 12? I don't know when I started it and then uploaded it like 6 months apart. But I knew that there would be some viewing in that segment, so I figured let me start with just elevators and see how it goes. Maybe expand it. And now it's gotten to the point where elevators are just a common out, like a rare-ish common thing. I don't do a ton of them. But really, it's more just been the fact that the elevator community nowadays sucks so bad that, like, no. I don't want to be in it. Pretty much the only time I do elevators anymore is if I'm with Dakota Landers and I film some there. But other than that, I don't do elevators anymore. The community's toxic and it's an awful place to be. So I would do more. In fact, I think part of the reason I stopped is because of COVID. My channel was about 2 years old when COVID hit, and I only had, how many subscribers would I have had? I have to say, I think I probably only had about 300 subscribers, maybe 250 when COVID started. So, you know, that's, yeah. It was that I had a small fan base and I wanted to do what I want. Now it might be different, but really it was just, it was COVID, it was hard to film, and I was like, well, I'm going to start uploading what other stuff I like. So, and it's not like I hadn't done that, it was just rare. The second one, this one may be pushing it, what do you do for work? You're not totally pushing it. I can give you a little bit. How do I word this cleverly? This is going to be a real roundabout answer to get there, and you're going to have to do a lot of thinking if you really want to realize what I'm talking about. The best way I can put it is I deliver equipment to buildings. And I don't mean like a delivery driver. I mean, well, it kind of is. That's part of it. Yeah. I take equipment from building to building. And I also set up and tear down equipment at said buildings. The company has about 4 of these buildings, plus a couple other extra things. That said, I've actually started door dashing a little bit lately, too, to make up some extra money, because I haven't had a ton of hours at work, so if I had a phone that I could do DoorDash on, I would start live streaming it. But yeah, I've been door dashing a little bit, actually, as a second job, and I like it. It's kind of fun. Makes decent money, but so yeah, equipment delivery, setup, tear down. That's how I'm gonna put it. I mean, the thing is, if I said what it actually was, you'd probably be able to figure out what company I actually work for by doing just some simple Googling, so I'm not gonna tell you, so I'm not gonna give you even a direct answer. But I deliver equipment and set it up and tear it down at other buildings. So that was Half a Ski. So next user is the Whisper Drive fan. They just had one. Do you smoke cigarettes, and how long have you? No. What would make you think that? I don't smoke. I don't smoke anything. Nothing. Nothing at all. I don't ever smoke. I don't know what would even make you question that. Next up is Ceiling Fan Man 2000. Do you have any ceiling fans anymore? I'm assuming that they're talking about in my collection. I have, like, there's one above me, and I have the ones in my house, but in terms of the collection, no. I sold them all off or scrapped them. Lots of stuff was going on, and I just needed space and money, and yeah. I didn't really if it makes you feel better, I didn't destroy anything that was ridiculously high in value. Like, there were no Hunter Originals or, you know, I think there was one Casablanca that the switchboard was fried on, so it wasn't really stuff. But I'm done with fans. I wish I could collect them again, but I just can't. I want to focus all of my collecting energy on music and vehicles, because that's my two passions. And by vehicles, I mean literature, not literally vehicles. But, so, other than the few in my house and, like, 2 that are on a shelf in my garage that are on Marketplace, I'm pretty sure right now, no more. Next up, Brand Rosler. I think I said that right. Roesler. He has 3 questions. Or she, maybe. Maybe it's, you know, gender fluid. I don't know. Number 1, what was the first YouTube video you ever watched? Number 2, what made you get into the GM car brands of Pontiac, Saturn, and Oldsmobile? Were you ever into Saab? And number 3, have you ever been in any cars when they've broken down? Those are good questions. Well, the first YouTube video I ever watched, I have no clue. I can't remember even what it may have been about. All I know is when I started on YouTube, I liked watching videos of model trains and train crossings, so maybe one of those. I also liked watching videos on KitchenAid stand mixers. I was born right at the right time when YouTube came out, and I was growing up right as YouTube came out, so it was, you know, good time for that. Generation Z, what can you say? I have a work ethic, though. Bad joke. But, I don't know what the first one was. I mean, I don't even know what the channels would have been, man. I mean, I would have bet you that most of the videos I watched really early on probably either don't exist or on channels that have been long since deleted, because they would have all been uploaded between, what, before 2008, 2007, when YouTube was still in its infancy. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. There's some videos that I can go back to this day that I remember watching, but I don't know what the first one was. I don't know if I'd even be able to find out. I don't think I could. What made you get into the GM car brands of Pontiac, Saturn, and Oldsmobile? Were you ever into Saab? In terms of Saab, I like older Saabs, like pre-General Motors Saabs, like the 900 and stuff. Yeah, those are cool. I'm not really sure where you got the idea that I'm into Pontiac and Oldsmobile, because I'm not. I mean, I could care less about Pontiac and Oldsmobile, man. I'll be honest with you. I could give less shits about them. I mean, yeah, they're just GM generic crap, in my opinion. They both got shut down for different reasons. Actually, Oldsmobile's 20th anniversary being shut down is coming up. Funny, because one of the Oldsmobile plants is about 10 minutes from my house, one of the old ones. The Grand River plant, Lansing, Michigan. Well, it's not 10 minutes, it's longer, but... in terms of Saturn, what made me get into Saturn? I don't know. When I was a kid, one of my dad's friends had a SL2. It would have been like a 96 through 99 body style, and it was a stick shift. It was a 4-door sedan that was green. It was missing the wheel covers, I think, and the sunroof was duct taped shut. I remember that. I also remember it was a stick shift because it was the first car I'd ever seen that was a stick shift as a kid, so I was fascinated watching him shift as he drove. That kind of started it. My grandmother has had a Saturn Vue for probably over a decade at this point. It's 2006. My cousin has a Saturn Vue as well. He got it about 10 years ago. Really, my grandparents and that little SL2 that I rode in. But I've always found Saturns. When I say Saturns, I'm talking about everything older than the Vue. Nothing, and by Vue, I mean up to 2007. Everything before that. Discluding the Ion, the Aura, all that. No, I'm talking about the S-Series, L-Series, Vue, and, hell, I wouldn't even count the Ion, but whatever. So I don't know what made me get into him, but I've always kind of liked him. It's the only GM stuff that I actually really think is cool. I mean, I had one. I had an SL1. Great little car. Better than probably any GM product from that era, too, including the trucks. Yes, I went there. Bite me. Yeah, I don't know what made me get into it other than that I rode in them as a kid and I liked them. And then I bought mine just sort of for the hell of it. But I'm not really into Pontiac or Olds. I mean, I don't care for them. I just don't care. Oldsmobiles and Pontiacs don't matter to me. I mean, yeah. If I bought one, I bought one. If I didn't, I didn't. Whatever. And 3, this is another good one. Have you ever been in any cars when they've broken down? Other than blowing a tire a couple times, actually, in different vehicles, no. Like, I've never been in a car when the transmission's gone out, or the engine's thrown a... There's a ghost. Engine's thrown a rod, or, shit like that, you know? Like, I've never... Other than tires, no. I have not. Guess that's a good thing, but I drive Ford, so knock on wood, it shouldn't happen. Anyways, I just cursed myself. Hey, I'm popping back in while I edit this. Changed my mind. I have been in a vehicle once that broke down while I was actually riding in it. Ford and Chevy, guys, get ready. It was a Dodge. Of course it was. No, I like Mopars, but it was a 98 a Dodge Ram 1500 with a 360. To put it politely, modifications that wouldn't pass inspection in 40 out of 50 states. Also probably very, very dangerous to drive. I was riding in it one morning. It was one of my friend's old trucks, and it shredded the fan belt on us. And in the McDonald's drive-thru, actually. And it just quit. We made it. It idled down real good. We made it about 0.2 of a mile, and it shut itself down. So, yeah, one time. And I actually have video footage, a real short video, I think a Snapchat or something, from when it happened. There's no audio, but real quick clip of it. I'll put it in here. But yes, one time. So those were Brand's questions. From Blake's585. Number 1, can you watch Trolls 1, please, with a sad face? And 2, remember when you were being crazy at Sears and you were lying down on the elevator floor, so funny, with a laughing crying emoji. Can I watch Trolls 1? No. Sorry. Remember when you were being crazy at Sears and you were lying down on the elevator floor? I do remember that. In fact, I think I made a video about it. I don't think the video is still public, but yes, I do remember that. And I still miss that Sears to this day. That was a good Sears. Last 2 users. They each have 1 question apiece, and one of them's a repeat. From P.A. Hogger. Do you... Actually, I guess... No, it is 1. Do you still like your Speed Queen washer, and does it make lots of suds out the drain hose? I kind of already answered this one. Yes, I still like the Speed Queen. It was a great investment. Use it all the time. And does it make lots of suds out of the drain hose? Yes. Not all the time, but it does. Maybe out of 10 washes, maybe 7 of them it does. Yeah, I guess that's a common issue, at least for people that don't have, laundry sinks that they drain into, who have little wall pipes like I have. So, yes, it does that. Final user with the final question, Bobby the Fan Man. Do you still collect fans? And I already kind of answered this one, but no. Other than, like, if I buy a box fan at the store because I need one, no. In fact, I've sold already all of the, 90% of the fans I had, selling the other ones as of now, too. I'm down to, like, 5. It just came down to, once again, pick the passion. My passion has always been music, records, instruments, whatever. That has always been the number 1 for me, and so therefore I said, you know what? The fans are not worth it. They take up so much space. There's such a little community of them versus like vinyl records. It just wasn't worth it. So I sold them off. In fact, what's funny is I sold most of them for more than what I bought them for. But, so, yeah. Those were the questions. That's the end of the questions. Maybe I'll do one of these like once a year or something. Yeah. Or sooner, depending on how many questions I get. Because I was expecting, honestly, less than this. So, that's it. Thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe and click like if you like what you see. And follow me on the web at isaac24.com. Bye-bye.